welcome back to my channel. What am I doing today? Today, you know what? I decided today to pull out not this little book, but this. This is my Artext Hemi Style Gouache. Now, I originally got these maybe about 5 years ago. They're about, and I haven't used them much. Well, I have used them, but I haven't used them much in the past 2 years. In fact, I think the last time I touched these gouache was 2023. And thankfully, I already have one cup empty. And now today we'll see how far, as you can, how far we can get with the other cups. You can see they're all solid in there. And I want to paint with them a little bit. You know, this year of 2026, I am giving my art supplies, especially the most neglected ones, a lot of love. I've slowed down a lot on the amount of art supplies I buy, and I'm really giving those art supplies that I haven't shown a lot of love to, a lot of love this year. And today I want to go back over these Artext gouache. These are the Hemi style gouache that I have, and I want to try it out in this book. Now, if you remember this book here, I cannot for the life of me use watercolors in them. I can only use gouache and acrylic paints and acrylic markers. So I originally designed this page to test out watercolors, and after trying out about 2, this was my 2025 mermaid, I realized that the sizing on this paper is really not good. So today I want to try it out. I'm going to test it out here with one of these illustration here. Now, these are not my illustrations. They're actually from a stamp that I got from AliExpress some years ago. And if it's successful here, then we'll graduate to one of these illustrations that is in this book that we need to finish. Sounds like a plan? So now that you know what I'm doing, now that you know why I'm doing it, and the medium I'm using, let me quit my blabbering and get to the painting. Let's get this started. You see me spritzing water onto these. I quickly learned that was not enough to reconstitute these. Then I start dropping water into these, and I quickly learned I need more water. Most of the time I was spent with this was during the reconstitution, trying to reconstitute these back to its gouache state. It was hard. It was taskful. And I spend more time doing that than I did painting, which is kind of interesting. Other interesting note is, I'm not sure if you noticed, the brushes I'm using are actually from this Pointers watercolor brush. And I use those because I wanted a really stiff brush, something that I'm able to use with scrubbing and really get in there and scrub that gouache. I knew if I used a very soft brush, I could have deformed it a bit or let it lose its point. But with these Pointers brush, being that the bristles are really super stiff, I knew that I wouldn't damage it that much with all the scrubbing I had to do with these. Please keep in mind that these have been on the shelf for about a year and 3 months. So it was like, yeah, I really had to get in there. And I did a bit of shadowing with this. You see me now putting on the shadows. All I did was darken the skin color, and that was how I was able to get the shadows for this piece. And now I'm putting on the skirt. I want it to be green. I know these has like they have all different shades. Some of them are green, some of them are tan or khaki, as we would say, but I really wanted it to be green and test how these gouache will react on this paper. I think all in all it reacts pretty good. So after this, you'll see me move over into the painting piece. Okay, it started out with me looking for the perfect picture. I wanted something because a lot of illustrations in this book had the faces or skin tones, and I wanted to stay away from that with this, so I decided to do this one. Ideally, if you remember my Patreon, I believe these pictures are in the February bundle for 2025. I think that's a paid bundle. So if you can't, no, actually it's January's bundle for 2025. So if you can hop on over and enjoy that painting and color along with me, because it is a part of that. But I wanted to do something that limits faces, so because I really didn't want to mix skin tones again, so I went for those birds. And if you notice, the birds also, I had it pre-painted the sky with the acrylic gouache, but well, the acrylic paint that I had, those matte acrylic paints that I had, but I decided to repaint over them with this gouache, and it actually covered well. I wanted a darker sky, and I only wanted to use the colors that were in this set. If you notice, I don't have a white anymore, so I wanted to use the colors that was in this set and that were open, that were good for me to use. And guys, I spent 60 to 70% of the time reconstituting these paints because they were really hard, and the reconstitution process was really tedious, just so that I could get it to the consistency that I like working with, to the texture that I like working with these paints on, and I'm grateful for that. I also should say something about this. I use yellow, a combination of that light yellow color with the black, just to try to create some skin tones. So now I'm going to see you in the end piece. Okay, I am finished. I'm sure I would have, in the voiceover piece, I would have talked to you about my thoughts and what I had going on here. It was actually, despite the reconstituting of these paints, it was actually a lot of fun. I did enjoy it, even though it took about 2 hours to do this, but it was a lot of fun. I did had times. What I'm waiting on now is for it to dry, because the birds here are black, so I just need this to fully dry to go in there with maybe a black pen to do the birds and do some re-inking of this. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. If you're able to color along with me, hey, share it with me on Instagram. I should put that up. And guys, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.